Welcome to episode 8 of the Run for the Million preview show here on Up for Discussion. Today we're going to highlight another team that I'm going to have to use previous footage of because I've not seen them show together, only a few schooling runs. And that is the team of Mr. Farenheit and Mandy McCutcheon. So obviously Mandy has not shown this one at a major event yet. Ruben has shown it a lot. Andrea showed it a little bit as a 3-year-old and was reserve at the fraternity. But I'm going to go all the way back to his very first horse show as an aged horse, and we're going to show you the Denver Summer Slide, where Ruben showed him and marked a 228. It's one of the best runs in a snaffle bit you'll ever see, and it shows where this horse got to. Mr. Farenheit is a very popular horse in the reining horse community, partially because everybody loves Ruben, but also partially because he's had success with so many people, and everybody involved with this horse is hoping that success continues with a great showman like Mandy. So we're going to jump into that run at Denver, and then we'll come back and discuss what we think Mandy's options are. And here we are at Denver in 2021 for the Summer Slide. And unlike most of these other horses, I'm showing you one of Mr. Farenheit's very first runs. And there's a reason why, and it's not just because it's one of his best runs, because he's had many great runs since then, but this run shows off my favorite quality of this horse, which is just his eye appeal. It's hard to find one that draws you in and makes you want to watch it more than Mr. Farenheit when he's just going around as easy as can be like that. From a perspective of somebody who wishes I could train one this good, I would love to be able to have one that wanted to be that stylish and wanted to be that easy looking. Now, I'm not saying he was easy to train. I don't know the story. I've never asked Ruben. But this horse just looks easy with everything. I mean, to the point where it's not just to most of us, that's a positive. Some people it would be a detriment and say, oh, Ruben's not pushing him very hard. Believe me, from watching the video on a bigger screen and also talking to people who were there, Ruben wasn't flying out of control, but he was pushing that horse, and that's just how nice that horse makes everything look. It's just so easy. Now his left turn here is a very efficient front foot step. Just watch him, just get around there, and yeah, it's just that efficiency and smoothness of movement. Once again, as we've talked about with almost everybody else, it's a slightly different style in the turnaround. But there's nothing incorrect, and it darn sure moves real easy. And like I said, eye appeal is the big draw with this horse. And I want you guys to remember, this is July of this horse's 3-year-old year. This was the first major horse show he'd ever gone to, like as a competitor. And as stylish as he is here, he's only gotten more so as he's gotten bigger, stronger, and more finished in the product with Ruben and with his time with Andrea too. And now his time at the McCutcheons. But I want you to watch this thing in the slowdown and watch just how smooth he gets. I mean, that is light, that is soft, that is willing, that is everything we want to see. Every little bit of this is just dripping in appeal. Now, his right turn, I've always thought he's quicker here, and I think this presents more possibility for a big plus because he's always been quicker in that right spin. And the difference between then and now is as he's gotten stronger, everything stays more upright and his feet stay underneath him a little bit more, but he hasn't lost any of that speed or that, like I said, the eye appeal. You're going to hear me say that a lot because that's the biggest strength of this horse is just how much fun he is to watch. Now, those of you who don't know, obviously, Pattern 5 has a figure 8 in the middle to get our lead changes in. And I want to point out, too, I mean, Ruben's not playing this safe. He's just driving around there, and that thing just changes leads like butter. This is exactly what you want. And there's the same stuff we talked about in the circle. He lopes circles the exact same way on this figure 8 as he did running his circles, the big, fast, small, slow. This is the only even slightly not perfect thing in the whole pattern, and it was still pretty good. And that's because 3-year-old in July and Ruben had to help. That's not the end of the world, and I really, really enjoyed that run. Now, as I've said with stylish and smooth, watch this thing go to the ground. He's about as smooth to the ground as anything that you'll see. he almost has a floating aspect, and not he has the ability to push through the ground, but he has the ability to push and try while looking like he's just floating on a cloud. Like, it is so soft and so, I don't want to say easy because it's not easy, but it's so just that it's the high effort that is made to look like there's no effort, and that is a rare feat to find in a horse. Is what you want to see, is a horse doing high effort things and making it look like there is not a whole lot of effort. And now we're going to finish on this last one, and I want you to watch his front feet because he has some phenomenal front feet here as you watch the end of this run. Beautiful. And that's what you can expect with this horse and Mandy, with even a little more aggression and a little more speed, being as 85 now instead of 3. As you see, I have a lot of positives to say about Mr. Farenheit. The positives only continue when you add in Mandy to that, and her showmanship and her longevity in this industry. Being the number one non-pro rider of all time is no small feat, and being only the second time that a non-pro is qualified for this, albeit there are 2 this year, is an impressive and amazing accomplishment. And it's quite the team to look out for. I'm interested to see how Freddie handles Mandy's type of aggression, as he did handle Andrea's very well, but it's slightly different, although with a very similar intensity. I think Mandy's one a lot of people are going to be sleeping on at this event because of the non-pro factor and because, first time here. But she's been here every year just with her son and her husband. So I think it's going to be a lot more interesting for her, not for her, but for us watching her, to go forward and see what she can draw out of a really, really nice horse. And I think that's going to be a big positive. So I'll let you know where I think she finishes up in a couple days when we get to the end of the series. But it's probably going to be a very high-end, high-caliber run. And that's what we've come to expect from both this horse and this rider. So as usual, like, share, subscribe, comment, YouTube, Facebook, and I will see you all tomorrow for episode 11.